Hey everyone, it's Julie. Um, 15 years ago today is the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers in New York. This video, I talk about where I was when I found out about it. I believe it was first grade. I was about 7. Yeah. 2 weeks away from turning 8. And when I found out about the attacks, I was at school. My first grade teacher at the time, I think, set all the students aside or pulled them aside into a circle, from whatever we were doing at the time, and kind of talked to us about it. And there may have been a video of it. Like, she might have brought in the TV and we watched some footage of what happened and kind of talked about it. But it's still to this day like history. So many lives were lost, firefighters and those trying to rescue those in the building as they collapsed. Those who lost their lives on the planes because of the hijackings. And, as a 7, 8-year-old girl, like, you don't fully comprehend what happened. But sometimes now I still don't comprehend it. But I know more about it as I grew up. And I mean, I'm 22, almost 23. And some of you were born after the attacks, or after this day, after 2001. So you may not even know what had happened, unless like family or some friends told you about it. But not that many people know about it who are born after the fact. I mean, some do. And I'm sorry. I'm starting to get sick or just have a tickle in my throat. It's devastating when events like this take place because you may not know what's going on at the time. It um I will never forget it because of this event we've been at war or in place of going to Iraq or Iran. And this event only led to more violence, more lives lost. Um, it's sad knowing that some kids will never see their um, parents or parent again ever because they lost their lives trying to save others or they were trying to make a trip home for a birthday or uh, business trip or what have you. And like this event will be in textbooks, like people who weren't born until after 2001 and who are 15 years old will most likely learn about this in their textbooks. And they may have unanswered questions and questions in general. I mean, I still have questions even though I understand it more. Uh, sometimes tragic events have to occur in order for us as a population to grow. But history tends to repeat itself like crazy. And sometimes generations learn from previous mistakes, others don't. But it's the future generations, like millennials, like you 15-year-olds out there, uh, my generation, millennials, who have to try to make a better future for others, not just in the US, but elsewhere. And it's terrible because you may be at a point where you're like, semi watching from the sidelines, thinking about what to do, but not knowing how to actually set the foot on doing that. I mean, no matter what, there will always be tragedy, things that are beyond your control. But, and also more lives will still be lost. But taking action, even the smallest of steps against violence, like protesting or something along that line, you can make a change, even if it's the smallest of steps. There will be people who don't want to change. And history goes in cycles. Um, yeah, cycles. And even when one or 10 people try to change that cycle and end it, somebody else goes against it. And this is how you have endless violence. And for example, racism never died, although some people think it did. But making racist comments or, for example, having white supremacists or people who think they are white supremacists and like harm innocent lives because of their color of their skin. They think they're doing a solid and keeping things pure. Don't do that. But it just takes a few individuals at the start to make a change. To end the cycle of violence everywhere against all people so that less lives, less violence are created. Um, I hope everyone out there listening, but sometimes you can live life with the wool pulled over your eyes and not know what's going on until you're older and how to fix it when you're older. In closing, uh, there will be a link in the description or right there to my first video of today. I was walking home talking about the beauty around me and kind of how I remembered a little bit about this day. Check it out. Leave a comment down below if you remember 9/11 or not, like where you were. It's always good to have solidarity with your peers, even if they live across the country, the world, and you've never met them. Everything that happens is a ripple effect. You drop it in the water, or you drop a pebble in a lake or a puddle, and it creates ripples. That one little event of throwing a rock in water creates ripples. And it's a domino effect. If you've ever played with dominoes and stacked them up side by side, you knocked one down or you push one down, they all fall continuously. That is what 9/11 is. A domino effect, a ripple effect. But anyway, if you want to see more vlogs, random videos, click subscribe. Click like. But more importantly, leave a comment if you can about what you remember on this day. No matter how many years ago, whether you were, if you don't know enough, or if you were not a millennial, but you remember what happened.